Welcome to Thought Crime and Keto Crime, where Tracy does the sleuthing so you don't have to.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Thought Crime and Keto Crime. Today's a little impromptu video. I was all set yesterday to film a pre-prepared, scripted, research true crime video on bum fights that will be out on Wednesday. But instead, I realized that we had kind of a criminal thing going down, a crime going down, even as we speak. And I decided to use that time to research it and get it out to you today. So here we are. We're talking about recent abuses of the PPE, the Federal Paycheck Protection Program, which, as we know, was enacted the last of March, 1st of April by the federal government as part of their many trillions of dollars of federal aid going to individuals and small businesses. So these were guaranteed Small Business Administration loans that were set to help small businesses, aka non-corporations, those, that don't employ thousands or even hundreds of thousands of people, because companies like that, yes, very important to our economy and our general environment. Not saying they're not. A big round of thanks goes out to Amazon, Walmart, Kroger, Publix, all the Costco, Sam's Club, all the big ones that are out there staying open so that we get what we need. And I'm certainly very grateful for that. But those types of companies have access to capital that these smaller businesses do not. Even businesses, with 500 or less employees, they don't have access to the kind of capital that these big corporations do. These corporations are required to keep so much liquidity. They have stock they can sell. They have lines of credit available to them that small businesses just don't have. So the Paycheck Protection Plan was geared at small businesses through the Small Business Administration to help them stay afloat. And part of that was they could borrow this money, but as long as they kept all their employees employed and still paid their benefits and their money and their salaries, that could be forgiven as long as certain criteria was met. So they were, in fact, forgivable loans. But something has been going wrong. This was parlayed out, much like the student loan system is. These were parlayed out to individual lenders to actually do this program and lend the money. Your big banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, which we'll get to our old buddies Wells Fargo here in a moment. But they were set out to be the ones to actually oversee this. And it was supposed to be small businesses were given preference, and they were supposed to be on a first come, first served basis, which means the first one that applied was the first one that got attention, so on and so forth. However, it has come to light that big corporations like Shake Shack and Ruth Chris Steakhouses were approved for loans anywhere between $10 and $20 million from the PPE. As I said, these are big corporations with many, many outlets around the country and around the world in some cases. They have access to other lines of credit, yet they took PPE loans without even batting an eye. And they were caught by the media and by other people who turned them in. And as a result, now Shake Shack, out of the goodness of their heart, is returning the $10 million loan, saying, oops, we don't really need it. We have access to other money that these businesses don't have. We want to return that money to make sure small businesses get it. Okay. Shake Shack, you are returning this money because you got caught. If you hadn't been caught and called out for it, you would never have returned this money. Let's be honest. And when they actually questioned Shake Shack's CEO, he actually contended that it was supposed to be for the benefit of their smaller franchisees, which own, one or two units in a local area that employed less than 500 people. Okay, fine. If it was for the benefit of those franchisees, why didn't the franchisees apply for them? Why is their big corporate franchisor, which you basically help them set up their business and you take a chunk off the top. I know how franchises work. You take you lease your name, your product to a individual business owner. They open a restaurant under your specifications. They sell your product. They buy from your distribution chain. They are kind of locked in, but they have name recognition, which is why a lot of people choose to do it that way. But as for the most part, they are individual businesses. I know. I've been a partner in a franchise before. I understand how that works. So if it was for the benefit of these small franchisees, as you were saying, why is their franchisor, which is initially a vendor, applying for these loans for them? The individual franchisees can very easily apply for these loans and get them themselves in their own names. They don't need their vendor, their franchisor, to apply for the loans and then distribute them. How are they going to be distributed? Did you have a plan for that? No, you didn't. I'm pretty sure you applied just to have this money in reserve, or maybe to still give out those big bonuses. I don't know, but it seems very funny that a big franchisor would be the one to apply for the benefit of their smaller restaurants. As somebody who has been in that business, that dog don't hunt, it don't hold any water. I'm just saying. So now they're giving their loans back. Still no word from Ruth Chris if they will give back their money. I seriously doubt it, but they might, because I know I won't be going to a Shake Shack anytime soon. That's just dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. All right. Okay, no, I take that back. If I know a Shake Shack is independently owned by a local person, yeah, I might go. But I'm not going to a Shake Shack corporate-owned restaurant anytime soon. There you go. All right, so now let's get to our good old buddy Wells Fargo, shall we? I kind of feel like Tim Pool doing these with articles. I wish I was as big as Tim Pool. Anyway, so we now have our good old buddy Wells Fargo in the mix. Wells Fargo, that I have recently covered their churning scandal. I'll put their fake account scandal. I'll link that above. Same Wells Fargo that was engulfed in a lot of mortgage scandal during the great crash of 2006, 2008. That same Wells Fargo has now gotten themselves back in the news for not so good reasons. A lawsuit filed in California alleges that Wells Fargo unfairly shuffled the Paycheck Protection Program applications to meet the needs of larger customers wanting larger loans that generated larger fees for Wells Fargo. PPE, lenders that signed on to help administrate the PPE were bound to do this on a first-come, first-served basis and to help businesses no matter their size. However, it is found that the last 2 weeks of the Paycheck Protection Plan, maybe because they knew the money was running out, there's a deal brewing between the White House and Congress right now to get some more money into this program. Maybe they thought we need to get as much money from this program as we possibly can, and as a result, they started prioritizing the needs of their larger customers over the needs of small businesses. And we're handing out, $2 million loans rather than the $100,000 and $150,000. Now, they did bring up in the first little bit of the program, they were handing out way more $100,000 to $150,000 loans than they ever had before, quicker than ever. However, I don't know of any small businesses yet that have actually received their loan proceeds. If you know of any, or if you own any that have received their proceeds, let me know down below. I still don't know of any that has actually received their money. I don't know a whole lot of people that have actually received their stimulus check. I checked this morning. They're mailing mine, even though they have my address, my bank account on file, where I paid my taxes just a week ago. Anyway, so I still don't know anybody that's even received that. So if you've received yours, if you know people that have actually received PPE funds yet, let me know down below. But Wells Fargo is being sued for inevitably and probably allegedly prioritizing bigger clients over smaller clients so that they can generate more loan origination fees and therefore line their own pockets. And as I said, I'm willing to bet they did this because they knew the money was starting to run out, and they wanted to get as many fees generated as they could, and larger loans have a tendency to do that. So that's kind of where we are. I don't blame the government for this. I blame the government for not depositing my check when they had my account. Okay, that's all on the IRS, but I'm still going to get my money, so whatever. I don't blame the government for this, so to speak. I blame the small lenders if these lenders if they allowed to administrate the program for them, definitely. And I think there should have been more government oversight. But let's face it, people, when you put, the government, a behemoth like the government in charge of anything, sometimes things fall through the cracks. So I definitely think a lot more of this will be coming out. I think we'll see a lot more bigger businesses that actually got loans that weren't supposed to. I think you'll see more lenders that kind of shuffled the applications around, favoring some over others. I think we're going to see a lot more of this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Anyway, wanted to bring this to you because this is definitely true crime happening as we speak. I felt I needed to get something out to you guys about it. Let me know what you think, your feelings on this. I would definitely like to know if you know people that have actually received PPP loans for their businesses yet, the proceeds. And let's start a conversation, an intelligent conversation. Send no hate to any of these people. Shake Shack's reputation is going to suffer for a while. They're going to get all the punishment they don't need. They didn't break the law, but what they did was kind of scummy. But we don't need to add to that, so please. All right. I'll see you next time. If you want to support the channel, links are down below. I'll be back soon with another Reddit read and another original true crime this week. Hope to see you there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, Keto Comic out.